12 minutes is playing in 12 minutes. Perfect.
When we're done this, I want to see 12 minutes. I don't want to even see the number 12.
Let's talk about the basics so that we can clean it up a little. Every 10 minutes after starting a loop,
The cap, it's not 12 minutes.
After the player character, who is named husband in the credits, but we'll be calling him James McAvoy, I guess, his wife,
Specific
who
as
will
labor.
call Daisy Ridley to avoid confusion that will almost assuredly happen later on into this. James will retain the information he learns from loop to loop, so bit by bit, the plot of the various twists will be revealed as we go. There are main pieces of information that are used to uncover those twists. Firstly, Daisy is pregnant. This is the reason she got a couple pieces of cake and a present in the dresser. She wanted to surprise James with the news, and she'll do so if you let her.
We're having a baby.
Okay.
There's a box of baby clothes.
What made her
James
choose that
will
name,
comment
though?
is his
I don't know.
mom's name, who
I don't
died in
know.
childbirth.
Oh, wait. He said it. He just said it.
Dahlia on them, which James will comment is his mom's name, who died in childbirth.
Wait, so we should have.
Wait, so we knew that off rip.
When did we find that out, though?
I don't
So
remember.
We asked why that
she
name,
just-
did we not?
I think we were supposed to clock the second we saw the shirt.
How
Our
the
mom.
fuck would we know?
Name her for your mother.
I remember that now, bro.
Oh yeah, she did. We heard that before.
Well, we just didn't remember.
But I just, bro, yeah,
That
I
was
just
like a
assumed,
week
like,
ago, bro.
No, because you know what it is? To us,
That's
incest,
just crazy.
it never would have clicked for us. We're obviously just always gonna assume it's not that. So it never would have clicked for us.
Like we would have been like, oh, maybe it's like they have the same name.
It's a coincidence.
Say that he has a warrant to arrest Daisy. He'll handcuff both Daisy and James, then tell them that Daisy is under arrest for the murder of her father on Christmas Eve 8 years ago. She'll deny this. Then the cop will ask about a watch. This is Daisy's father's watch and is in the vent under the medicine cabinet in the bathroom.
Oh, so this is how we were supposed to find the. We were supposed to find the thing by
Her confessing.
Yeah.
Daisy says she killed her father on Christmas Eve. He caught her trying to sneak out. Then an argument occurred and he hit her, causing her to pick up one of the guns he had lying around and shoot him with it. She grabbed his watch and ran. Later, she attended a New Year's party at a coffee shop where she met James. Her picture was taken at this party, which is on the fridge. The cop is actually a
I was actually wondering why they had that picture of that exact day. I guess it's because that's when they met. But
Oh, yeah.
I was like, I thought that was a plot hole.
It's kind of crazy though that they
Cop is killing
both
two
fled
birds
and they
with
could have
one
gone
stone
anywhere
by
and they
killing
ended up in the same exact
place.
spot.
Yeah.
but also stealing the watch so he can sell it and pay for his daughter's medical bills. His daughter, nicknamed Bumblebee, has cancer, and he doesn't have enough money to pay for her treatment. The first major twists of the game is when it's revealed that Daisy's father didn't die on Christmas Eve when Daisy shot him. This is proven by showing the cop the picture of Daisy at the New Year's party, hundreds of miles away from where her father lived.
Look at the date. December 31st. That's the day she killed him. No, that's the day he was killed. But she was hundreds of miles away.
Wait, no, that's not the day they met
Her
then.
father-
Pause.
What do you mean?
Because we were with the dad. So that's not the day we met.
But she just said that's where he met her.
Did she?
She attended a New Year's party at a coffee shop where she met James. Her picture
See?
Oh, yeah. All right, well, yeah, there's a hole. That doesn't make sense. We shouldn't be able to be on bro.
And
They
100
fucked
miles
it.
away, that's far.
No, I was going to say
one
he
people
could
are
get there.
probably referring
Oh,
to
like
when they
plane or
talk about
something?
the twist of 12
Nah, you could
minutes.
drive
The cop
100
reveals that
miles?
Daisy father's
No,
dying
100 miles is
version
only
Drive
like an
100
hour
miles.
or two away, yeah.
Yeah, just drive 100 miles an hour.
But
you
that's
get there.
crazy. But that means he killed her. And then immediately drove to go get with his sister. It makes no sense. And then he forgot. If he forgot, then why did he drive? And why did he kill? If he killed his dad, that means he didn't forget.
Oh, yeah, the only way you forget is if you...
If you choose to.
Yeah, he doesn't
leave it.
die.
Yeah.
Yo, none of this makes sense,
It's
bro.
like
They
those
actually
things are
fucked
hard.
it.
I'm not gonna lie. Before I was like, yo, this game's actually not bad. It's actually pretty
Yeah,
good.
I was like,
It's
yo,
just-
they
there was just
cooked,
some
fam.
dumbass parts where like there's no way I would figure out to do that. But now I'm thinking about it. I'm like, yo, they kind of messed up a lot of stuff here.
Things do not add up.
Eventually, the cop reveals the name of the nanny.
That's it. Her name was Dahlia.
Oh, he got it out of him.
They
How?
gave
Without
Daisy and James
showing
are
the thing.
siblings, are married, and are expecting a child.
Damn.
There's more. So James killed their father on New Year's because he went to ask permission to date Daisy. This is specifically mentioned by the father when he says,
God, permission.
things got out of hand when James learned the truth of their relationship from their father, leading to a struggle and James shooting him twice. At that point, James blocked all memory of the event and continued his relationship with Daisy. Here's where we get into theoretical territory. Haven't seen anyone else talking about this yet, so I'm just going to name this the therapy theory. The main thing you need to know about the therapy theory is that the vast majority of the plot we know up until now doesn't matter. Throw that shit in the garbage because we're starting over. Because there are plot holes all over the place with this story
so
as
it's
it
a lot of
stands
people
now. With a major one being that James and Daisy's father knows about Daisy's pregnancy.
Oh yeah, what the heck?
Wait.
How would he know about the pregnancy when
Yeah.
that was 8 years ago?
She's pregnant.
Oh.
You got your sister
That
pregnant.
makes literally no sense.
James only just learned about her being pregnant, and Daisy thinks her father is dead. There's no way for him to have gotten that information yet, let alone 8 years ago when the flashback with him and James takes place.
Yeah, this is
Clock.
stupid.
There's so
This
many
is
mistakes.
stupid.
I really
The
thought they
clock.
cooked with this one,
Around
bro.
the clock are 3 rings, one of which has turned to reveal 2 figures highlighted in gold in the 12 o'clock position. The first ring turned into place at the exact moment James learned that his dad is Daisy's dad. So we'll take this to mean that the rings turning into place represents the acknowledgement of an essential truth. From there, we can unravel the actual story like this. James's father had an affair with Dahlia the nanny and had a son with her, in addition to having a daughter, Daisy, with his wife. Dahlia died in childbirth, and Daisy's mom died when she was a child. Both kids grew up not knowing each other, but fell in love. At some point, the father realized what was going on and took James into his library and told James that the woman he was in love with was his half-sister. Staring at a clock in the library, James mentally rejected this news and got lost in fantasies where he could be with Daisy, only for his father, dressed as a cop representing reality, to bust in and
Wait.
What?
I was gonna say, because the dad and the cop sounded similar.
That's why I thought he was the.
Yeah.
All the time loops are basically fanciful ways of running away from the situation. Incongruous, unrealistic, and inevitably ruined by the truth.
So maybe that's why there's holes, because it's literally just fantasies in his head.
It would make sense.
Mhm.
Kind of crazy, though.
Credits roll on 12 minutes 3 times, the progression of which I believe is hinting at the actual order of events. First time you see credits is for the Alone ending, where he stops seeing Daisy and she simply doesn't know why. This acceptance leads to James living out his life without Daisy in a barren apartment. However, he's still clinging to a piece of his fantasy, represented by the now broken clock, which he can find in its usual hiding place. The second time the credits roll is for the Continue ending. James examines the clock from the previous ending. With it, James can conjure another fantasy to get back to where his father asks him about what he's going to do about Daisy. If you click a book on the shelf, James will recite a quote from a book Daisy was reading in the time loop. This will prompt the father to offer an alternative option, hypnosis, which will allow James to forget everything he's learned and go back to his fantasies. If the player commits to this ending, all save data will be deleted, but the third ring on the clock will not rotate into place. The third ring will only rotate for the mindfulness ending, which I believe is 12 minutes actual ending. After James recites the quote, the player can then click on the clock in the room. James will stare at the clock until he's woken up by its chime. The father tells James that he has a remarkable imagination, but pressures him to end his fantasies.
Believing them so strongly,
So it has to be that then.
so deeply is unhealthy. You have to let her go. You can't keep obsessing over her. Sometimes things just are what they are. It's time for you to wake up.
As the third ring of the clock rotates into place, we see 2 figures on the first ring representing James and Daisy. The middle ring with an eye representing knowledge of their familial relationship.
How
On
the
the
fuck
third
are we
ring
supposed to know
representing
this?
their
I
father.
don't know.
The
Like,
game
none of
prevents
us would
the
have figured
player
that out.
from-
I'm so glad we just like cheated. We would have been on
Yeah,
this shit
this
for
would have
4
been
more
f-
hours. Wasted
meaning
so
that
much time on
James has
this.
finally given up on his fantasies and has chosen to accept reality.
What is reality though?
If we allow for
I
an
don't know.
entirely generous takeaway of this game and
I'm
ignore
fucking
nearly
Wait,
lost.
everything
I think
but not
reality is
limited
like
to technical
I don't know,
issues,
man.
Babe,
I'm fucking
I
lost.
this
don't
is
know.
Everything being like a dream.
That's the best one.
That makes the most sense.
I still have parts where I'm
good.
like, that was stupid.
The inconsistencies are fine if it's like a dream.
No, if that, no, I'm not talking about the like what I'd have issues with like getting to those endings.
Yeah, that's
it's like, bro,
stupid.
I mean, if you played this game and didn't see a problem with James not telling Daisy they're related and manufacturing scenarios where he can continue to see her despite this, I
fucking
honestly
weird,
don't know what to tell you other than that's fucked up, you're fucked up. Rather, based entirely on the
Literally,
therapy
bro.
theory and the 7th final ending, 12 minutes seems to be a meditation on how the mind can flee from painful truths, and that no matter how elaborate and safe our escapes from reality may seem, they will inevitably fail one way or another, and the truth will out.
Yeah.
Anyways, I skipped a bunch of stuff for brevity's sake, but let me know what you
That's
think of this
deep, I
ending,
guess.
and if you have any theories of your own that expound upon or deviate from this one.
thank you, Bob Vids, for that expensive explanation in
You sure,
a short
man?
amount of time.
That-
Yeah, that's everything.
Yeah. It was not bad though. It's just there's some
Yeah, it's just-
portions of it that were not
Oh,
like.
oh,
Yeah.
there's some flaws in
After,
the game.
Like,
after
what
it
would
was
you rate it on
explained-
like a level of 1 to 10?
Based on what?
Full
Like us
game.
playing it?
No, us playing it, it's a very bad experience. I had fun ish, like you know, like there's some parts that piss me off, but
I like the loop thing where you have to slow like.
yeah,
you
I
have
like
to figure out different things. I
figuring
like
it
that.
out. Yeah, that was good. I like that. Part.
But it was just really it was too complex to the point where it's like, okay, come on.
Like, bro, the only like, bro, I'm not gonna lie. When I said the freaking forgetting thing, I was bullshitting, bro. I didn't know if that shit was gonna actually Mark. That's like, I feel like that's what you gotta do with this game. Like, you gotta kind of turn your brain off and just do shit, you know?
I like the concept of it.
Yeah.
That's
like, I
about.
feel like if Telltale covered this,
Yeah, if Dan
that shit
Connors
would be
comes and just
live.
snags this idea,
oh my lord,
they could do something crazy with it.
yeah. But yeah, man.
Wait, the execution was meh.
Yeah.
Overall 6.5.
That's actually a proper rating. Yeah.
That's not bad. It's a decent game.
Yeah. Anyways,
Alright.
on to the next.